want to talk about walking for fitness and transportation. So, yeah, I used to talk about my blog that I had a long time ago, and I haven't updated it anymore, but it was a lot of fun. It was called The Pedestrian Walking Life, because you can definitely be a pedestrian in Southern California. You just have to plan your routes, and if you don't want to drive, you can walk. Like, there are sidewalks, there's public transportation. You can definitely walk in Southern California for transportation. Some days I walk like 8 miles. Most days I walk like 3, and it's very, very doable. Like, there's this belief that Southern Californians all drive, but some of us don't. Like, there's like a 0.2% that do not drive, and the benefits of not driving in Southern California. Number 1, no car insurance. You don't have to pay car insurance. Number 2, no car payment. And number 3, slower pace of life, because I'm all about enjoying nature in Southern California and living slower, not having like a fast-paced life. Like, for me, like, having fun is, I don't know, watching a YouTube video, or like when I get to see my sister and we just go shopping and simple things like that. And we might go have a pretzel at the mall or something. Like, we just love simple life, like slower life. We're not into this fast-paced kind of life. Like, you can have a slower life in California, and I love the benefits of walking, just because people walk for exercise, people run for exercise, and I have just become so accustomed in my life that you can walk anywhere, anytime. You don't need to make it like an excuse for walking. You just want to walk, you'll walk. And a lot of things I've been seeing, like the other day, I saw ducks, I saw a rabbit. It was so cute, like the little rabbits I saw them near here actually. And then the other day, oh, there's like a little seabird right there. He just flew away. Like, you see a lot of little birds. It's so adorable. And I think he's right there. I see him. I think he went away again, but I saw him. They're so cute. I love birds. I love looking at birds, and I need to fix one of my high-powered cameras, but one thing I used to love to do when I go up to the mountains is just zoom in on pictures of birds. And actually, I thought all pigeons in this region were like pertaining to the city, but that's not true. You know, actually in the western part of the United States, spanning from British Columbia down to San Diego, there is a bird that's indigenous called the band-tailed pigeon. Because one day I was taking pictures. I actually have some pictures. I think, well, my blog, I kind of let it go because it was just getting more expensive. The reason I used to love, like, I was maintaining a blog actually on a site that I hosted, but the reason I let that go was because, first off, I had so many problems with it this coming year. Things have just gotten more expensive, and it's become more ridiculous. Like, for maintaining a blog, if you're just doing it more for a hobby. At the beginning of this year, one of my sites got corrupted, and then I tried to fix it. And I even you're gonna have a sleepover. Talked to tech support about it, and they couldn't fix the site. And I paid a lot of money to try and have them fix it, but they weren't able to fix it. And they basically told me, I was not pleased, because HostGator I used to think had pretty good hosting services. They told me if I wanted to pay like $1,000, they could restore my site for me, and I was very dubious of that. And then all of a sudden in March, they started telling me that even though I'd had the same hosting package that I've always had for, like, I don't know, I was with them like since 2011, but all of a sudden they said if I wanted to host my blogs, I was gonna have to pay so much more money, and it just didn't seem worth it, because I was a hobbyist blogger, and at one time blogging made a little bit of money, but it used to have more traction, kind of like videos do now, but they just don't anymore. Like, some people read blogs, and I still do love blogs, but it's not that I don't ever want to update a blog, and I probably would again someday, but I'm gonna do just like free. I actually took one of my blogs and I put it on a free WordPress page because I'm not going to pay anymore unless you have a business where I feel like you're making sales. Hi, how you doing? I don't see the benefit of paying to host these blogs. So I started a WordPress site for one of my blogs, and I just need to transfer the other ones over because I'm not going to pay anymore to host those sites. And I've transferred one over, but I just haven't gotten around to doing all of them. And another reason I was kind of debating it was when one of the sites got corrupted, which was really sad. I had a lot of my artwork on it, and I lost like 10 years worth of posts. So I started thinking, well, I'm glad I have Instagram, and I'm glad that I have Zazzle because I sell some of my artwork on Zazzle, and I have YouTube. Because between those things, I documented a lot of things I did, and I feel like I'm just at the point in my life where I do want to sell like art t-shirts, and I've always had those on Zazzle. Those are always available, but my art websites never did the things that I wanted them to do. And basically I found they said you'd have to pay a lot of money, you'd have to pay somebody a lot of money to get these things up and running the way I had planned. So I've just decided to do it more on a smaller scale. Like, I still, like, when I do work on art projects, I just want to like do art videos, and I'll post some of my like pictures to Instagram, and then maybe TikTok too. I have 2 different TikTok accounts. One of them is more of my hair TikTok account, and then the other one's just more my vlogging. Although I've never really gotten serious about TikTok. I have fun with it, a little bit more fun than Instagram, but I feel like YouTube's just the main one that I like to post on. And I just love doing, like, when I do have time, doing more of a curated video on YouTube. So I was trying to get around to a painting project, actually, and I'd been thinking about it over the weekend, but things like things just always keep coming up that I'm doing, and I never completely get around to it, and I'm just like, darn, I really need to commit to like setting aside more time to do my hobbies, because I have a lot of things that I enjoy doing, but it's just sometimes hard or difficult for me to set aside the time to do all those little things. But that's part of the reason, even though I love my little art website, I just had to let it go just because it was nice. But when I was having all those issues and how, I don't know, HostGator in the past, like one time I had a problem with my site getting corrupted, like something happened to it, like they restored it for free, and it just seemed like in the last year they became so just all about making extra money. And they had been making money off me for years, and I thought about this too. I thought about how in the last 5 years I've spent like $1,000 on web hosting, and I don't even know why, because I really didn't I made money on YouTube that recouped some of that, but blogging doesn't really make that kind of money anymore. Not for me anyway. Maybe some big company makes a lot of money blogging that way. Maybe 15 years ago, 12 years ago, somebody could make money with ad revenue, blogging that way. But that's why I just don't really do my little blogs anymore, just because, I don't know, it's more about YouTube these days, or other social media platforms. And blogs are fun. I just don't have the incentive to post to one like I once did, and definitely not gonna pay to host those sites. And I was a little sad about it, but like I said, I had issues with my little art website getting corrupted, and how HostGator wouldn't restore it. So I've just decided at this point I'm going to do my 2 little YouTube channels. One's about, art, life, cooking, and just walking, I guess, and just different little things, and animals and things like that, nature. That's what this channel's about. The other channel is more about hair. This is my long hair journey and my interest in long hair. But I have actually, if you do look on this channel, you can see. Well, I do. I just do my art for me. And I am following my dreams because I'm a self-taught artist and I've sold some art, but my dream is this, that I just want to be creative, and YouTube's been my biggest outlet for creativity, okay? Being a YouTuber, that's been my biggest outlet for creativity. But I still do my art, but I'm never gonna be like a professional artist because I just create art that speaks to me. I'm not looking like to, marketable art, or some people really wanted to, I don't know, they wanted to make a point that, oh, there are marketable artists, because I took a lot of art classes in high school and some in college, and it was well known, like a lot of art teachers, like people that were truly talented, very talented in art, that there wasn't a lot of money in art unless you were like teaching. And I don't know, some people kind of took, like, they didn't agree with me on that. They're like, but there's a lot of professional artists or people that sell commercial art. And I'm like, okay, but what's the point of making a big point about commercial art? I'm just walking home. So I don't know why it has to be commercial art that you sell, like why you can't create art that you just think is beautiful and speaks to you. I definitely think there is a place for just creating art that speaks to you, like more in happy art, more just enchanted art. And that's my kind of art. Like, I create art that speaks to me. And a few years ago, it was about cats, because I had a cat and I used to paint my mom's cats, and I live in California. If you look at the name of my channel, it's California Mountain Art and Mountain Life, because I live near the mountains, and my channel used to be about the mountains because I grew up in the mountains and I used to go to the mountains a lot. But now it's just more about, I don't know, life in the San Bernardino Valley, and like how the mountains can still inspire your art. The mountains are a backdrop, I guess you could say, so to speak. But I still am very artistic. I just want to make the time for it. It's right here. As you can see, it's a walking trail. I'm not like on the sidewalk, because I used to walk a lot just on the sidewalk and the public streets. But then I remembered how there used to be this walking/biking trail on my way home. Like, it connects with streets, by the way, but the part that I just like to kind of walk on, which I find more relaxing, is this walking trail section. However, there are some main streets that intersect with it. So it has like this cute fence, and there's like some remaining orange fields nearby. But I do think there's some flies from the little creek, because my eyes feel a little irritated. Anyhow, and different types of bushes. It used to be all orange fields. And another thing I can show you is, like, there's this little creek here, down here. And there were frogs the other day. You can hear them again. I'm not sure if it picks up the sound. Oh, you feel like you're doing a video call with me? Well, it's a live. It's like a live stream. Like, this is a walking, talking live stream. So it could have that feel to it, but it's just like live, because I like to do live streams. I've been meaning to do like art ones, but like I said, I need to get myself all set up to do those things. I really do. I should be doing that more. Those were a lot of fun and very enjoyable, I have to say. When I do art live streams, I do quite enjoy them. Anyway, yeah. Another thing I just wanted to talk about when it comes to walking, I feel like walking is just very beneficial to your health. Like, you should take time to walk. I don't understand the need to feel so rushed all the time. Everybody's like in a rush to go somewhere. what inspires me? Just myself. Like, I love to draw from a young age. Like, and I told you I haven't sold a lot of my art. Like, I've sold some of it. And I just always wanted to do art because it's a form of self-expression. It's just something within me, like this form of creativity. I remember, like, I had this thought like 20 years ago that my most just happiest place, like when I feel really happy, is when I get deep into an art project. And there's something about, like, I just feel like it's very calming. Like, some people say they need to meditate to feel calm, but I think art is where it's really at. Like, to me, art is a form of meditation, really, as is walking. Just doing something that you really enjoy, where you get into the groove of it. It does not have to be meditation, because I tried that once, and I don't get meditation. Like, and I'm not gonna force myself to do something that doesn't resonate with me. But when I really get deep into an art project and I get in the zone, then yeah, I get that same feeling that people will talk about, like, that they derive from meditation. So that's what motivates me, just the pure joy of creating something that I find beautiful. And another thing that has really motivated me, no, I don't feel alone at all. I'm just sharing. That doesn't, okay, I think you feel alone so you start it. Nope, not at all. I don't have those feelings at all. That's projection, my buddy pal. Because if I felt that way, then I would say it. So don't project. Projection's not a good thing, really isn't. So anyway, yeah, I feel like so actually very happy and tranquil and immersed in life. I don't have that feeling. Maybe you have that feeling. I think you are a more social person. Social people don't get this. Like, this is a very introverted thought process. I think that's a very social person's viewpoint, is they worry too much about being alone, whereas a more introverted person is just immersed in what they want to do. Like, okay, thank you though, that's nice. Oh, you are an introvert? I don't know. It just sounded like I wasn't quite sure. That's cool. So no, I'm glad that you're talking about alone, like feeling alone. Personally, I've never understood like that thought of like, oh, I feel alone, because I've never like I'm single, but I've never felt alone in that I live in a fairly populated place. I have family. I have a few friends, but by choice, I don't have a large group of friends, because I'm not one of those kind of people that just wants to always be socializing. I don't know. So, what does chupapi mañana mean? I'll have to translate that later. I think mañana mountain? I'll have to translate that. Anyhow, I think I want to create things, and I want to have a vision of a happy life with positivity in my heart. And I want to just focus on myself and things that I can do that bring others joy, because I feel like sometimes in the past, people like get too tied up in things that are negative, or other people's negative thoughts, or just things that are too, how should I put it this way, like spilling the tea culture. You know how a lot of people love to feed off each other on social media or in real life, and I think I just want to create this more calming like corner social media where people can feel respect, and where I emanate kindness and I promote kindness in my comments. And maybe that's like corny. I'm sure that's considered corny to a lot of people. Some people probably think that that's corny, but you know what? I don't care, because that's what I like. I like things that are happy and funny and uplifting. The time is like 7:27 at night. 7:27. It's almost 7:30 at night. Like, it's not quite sunset, but you can see the sun is headed towards the mountains. I don't know if you can see that because on a phone, but it's kind of headed towards like the mountains. And here are the San Bernardino Mountains, and that's out towards Mount Baldy. That mountain's like 10,000 feet high. You can kind of see the smog is kind of rolled in a bit, but I mean, it's still relatively clear, but I do see a little bit, you know. Anyway, it's clearer than when I was younger, I think, because we have fewer carbon emission laws. Really have made a difference. They really have. And that's why I love living in California, because I know some people are like, oh my gosh, the environment. But you know what? It has been a godsend, because there's a lot of people that live in our area. And I think making sure we have more clean cars, because there's already enough smog. But I would say like 20 years ago, it was worse. It was far worse. And it's much clearer than it used to be. So, well, one way I know is because you can actually see the ocean from the San Bernardino Mountains on some days, not every day. Apparently, 100 years ago, you could see Catalina Island from the San Bernardino Mountains. Like, you could see the ocean every day from the mountains. I never saw that when I was a kid. And then 10 years ago, when we went up to the mountains, I started seeing it. Yeah, there's a lot of nature here in this one particular area, because it's still more of a green belt, and it's like a city, but it's more suburban. And there is some development around here, which I do find a little sad, but you know, I guess some people want progress, but I think we need to balance all that, right? I don't know, my thought. Anyway, I like being in nature the most. Anyway, thanks for watching.